The United States says it's dealing with a dangerous international criminal group, a supposed cartel tied to Venezuela's military leadership. Venezuela fires back, calling it all a ridiculous fabrication. But what exactly is the Cartel de los Soles? Does it truly exist, or is it just a political weapon? And most importantly, could this be the spark that triggers a much bigger geopolitical conflict? Stay with me, because today we're diving deep into one of the most controversial clashes between Washington and Caracas, packed with politics, military pressure, oil, drug trafficking, and accusations of terrorism. This isn't just a story about a cartel. It's about power, oil, and the possibility of international intervention. The United States government has decided to classify an alleged Venezuelan network known as the Cartel de los Soles as a foreign terrorist organization. According to U.S. officials, this group is composed of high-ranking Venezuelan military and political leaders involved in drug trafficking, corruption, and collaboration with narco networks. They claim that the cartel has been funneling cocaine into the United States and partnering with international criminal organizations. But here's the twist. Venezuela strongly denies that any such cartel even exists. According to Venezuelan officials, the Cartel de los Soles is nothing more than a political myth invented to justify future economic sanctions and possibly even military action. The Venezuelan Foreign Minister, Yvonne Gil, took to Telegram, stating that this so-called cartel is non-existent and calling the move by the U.S. a ridiculous fabrication. He claimed the entire accusation is a classic case of regime change tactics aiming to prepare legal and diplomatic grounds for international intervention. But if Venezuela claims it's fake, why is the U.S. so confident it's real? Let's dig deeper. The name Cartel de los Soles, or Cartel of the Suns, comes from the sun insignias worn by Venezuelan military generals. According to the U.S. Treasury Department and some analysts, certain Venezuelan officials over the years may have profited from relationships with drug traffickers, using military routes, security networks, and state-controlled borders to assist illegal operations. In fact, in July, the U.S. Treasury officially labeled the group as a specially designated global terrorist organization, which means all U.S.-based assets are frozen, U.S. citizens are prohibited from dealings with the group. It paves the way for much harsher sanctions. But here's where it gets complex. Independent research group Insight Crime says the term Cartel de los Soles is misleading. According to them, it's not an actual cartel, but rather a system of corruption where some military and political officials have profited by collaborating with drug traffickers. So instead of a structured cartel, it might be a loose network of individuals working for personal profits. So if experts don't fully support the U.S. version, why push this narrative so hard? And why now? This isn't just about drugs, it's about power, politics, and oil. The United States and Venezuela have had a long history of tension, especially since Nicolas Maduro took power. Maduro's government controls one of the world's largest oil reserves, and Washington has accused him for years of manipulating elections, suppressing democracy, and partnering with international criminal groups. The Trump administration, and now the Rubio-led State Department, have taken a harder line, accusing Maduro himself of leading the cartel. Maduro says these are fabricated lies created to push regime change. Meanwhile, the U.S. has increased its military presence in the Caribbean, with some analysts warning this might be the first strategic step toward a possible intervention. The Venezuelan Foreign Ministry called this a vile lie designed to justify an illegal intervention under the usual U.S. regime change manual. But is the U.S. actually preparing for military action, or is this just another round of political pressure? Here's where the stakes get higher. According to Reuters, the U.S. is preparing to launch a new phase of Venezuela-related operations. No exact details were given, but the timing aligns with the new terrorist designation strategy. Here's why this designation matters. When a group is labeled a foreign terrorist organization, It gives the U.S. legal power to freeze assets, pursue arrests, and restrict international dealings, but it does not automatically authorize military intervention. So while Washington might not be legally cleared to start a war, such labels are often used to build global support, increase diplomatic pressure, and justify future escalations. Some experts say the U.S. could even use this move to pressure European and Latin American allies to cut ties with Maduro. If this isn't war yet, what is the U.S. really trying to accomplish? The core of this entire issue may come down to one thing: control over Venezuela's economy, especially its oil. Venezuela holds around 18% of the world's known oil reserves, more than Saudi Arabia.